Well, the naturopath who does my IV learned about high pain tolerance in cult torture survivors this week. So I got an IV from her. She put it in. She did have to poke around twice, but that's good for my veins. Um, got it in. And then partway through, I started to feel a stinging sensation. It was intense stinging, but it's not like high pain. And I didn't want to interrupt her for something like that. So I waited and I was just working. And then when she came in, when it was like almost done, but not quite, I mentioned it and she got me a hot pack like that they put in the microwave and put it on. But then when she went to unhook everything, she said, "Oh, Cheryl, like you have a really high pain tolerance. Like, look, there's this really big lump." I can't remember what she called it, but it was big. It was probably like 3 golf balls across, but not that high. And she said, I've never seen it like this. We've never had it big like this before. And you have such a high pain tolerance." And she kept saying that. And it was shocked in her voice. And I didn't understand why she was shocked because I have told her I'm a cult torture survivor. I have told her there was torture. And I told her that I have a high pain tolerance. I couldn't understand why she was shocked. And I mean, it stung, but it wasn't like screaming pain or anything. And so I said I did say that it was stinging, but like I wish that I had clued in that it was like going through the vein. And then she was apologizing and I was apologizing that like I should have clued in that it was a different pain mostly than other times. Um, but I still did not understand why she was shocked because I've told her, called torture survivor, high pain tolerance. And I said, "So what would normal people react like?" And she said, "Well, the very first or second drop that went through, they would be like banging on the bell to tell us to come and like nonstop." And I was like, "Right, but they're not called torture survivors." And I still didn't understand it. I had to talk to my friend who's a cult torture survivor and say, like, why was she so shocked when I've explained to her? And she said, "Well, regular people's high pain tolerance is really different than for us who are called torture survivors with high pain tolerance." And like, I guess it was the first time that she'd seen this. But I thought people understood when I'm saying torture and high pain tolerance. So that was interesting for me to observe. It probably was not interesting for her. Like she looked so shocked. And I am trying to be more in my body. See, if it had been the naturopath that I feel really safe with, like my regular naturopath, maybe I would have been even more in my body. I'm not sure. I think I would have. And I also would have felt more comfortable telling her, but it didn't feel like a big deal to me. It was pain, but it's like it's not torture pain and it's not screaming pain. It wasn't really, really intense. It was just some intense. But as cult torture survivors, we have high pain tolerance levels because we had to, because that's how we survived the torture. That's the only way that we survived the torture. I mean, and the dissociative identity and numbing out of our bodies. And I am so much more in my body now than I ever used to be, and I feel pain more. And still, I have a really high pain tolerance.